Welcome to Danziger's California Spring Trials. We are very happy to have you here and we'd like to show you around.
Lucille Chic can fill a big pot, but it's going to be best in quarts. Makes a very nice quart pot. Lucille White for gallons, and then Lucille Grace for larger 1.5 or gallons or 8 inch. But what's unique about these is, for one, the earliness. So there's absolutely no cooling needed, and they're very early. So we have a lot of guys that are using them actually in Florida. For a verbena, we knew that we had to test for mildew. Resistance, tolerance, whatever you want to call it. We decided that we would have a program where we infect the seedlings in the lab to check for the coverage of mildew. So that's the first hurdle they have to go through. Next, we put them in regional trials across the US and Europe. We set the bar very high for mildew tolerance, which means at 0. That means if we see the mildew, even at the end of the cycle, which is kind of a normal progression of life for a verbena, so if we see in September in Grand Rapids mildew, we kick it out of the program or any other area. So next, and I think this is as important as the mildew resistance, is the flushing of color. So as most growers will know, verbenas will flush out of color. So to be in VANESSA, it has to show color all summer through the trials. There's 4 colors: VANESSA bicolor purple, bicolor pink, white, and violet.
The new LIA series is something we're very proud of. We've been working very hard in order to get it and selected the very best varieties, and up until now we have 4 different colors: the yellow, the bubblegum, the blue, and the melon. The LIA is a series that is selected for great garden performance and basket production, and these ones have very tight internodes that give them a lot of blooming flowers. We're just very happy about the new LIA series. Growers will be excited about the LIA series because it will flower also in a 10-hour daylight, and it's tested for pH sensitivity. It has very controlled habit, short internodes that give it a lot of blooms, just the perfect series of COLIBRAchoa.
Sun Harmonies are an interspecific cross, just like our competition, but they're in the breeding, and we're selecting a different type of plant. And what we're looking for is a sun-tolerant New Guinea, but that it will still present itself like a New Guinea. Large flowers, not a lot of spacing between the leaves. And the other thing that we're looking for, and we have achieved, is a uniform series. So that means the grower doesn't have to change PGR rates. Colibris are compact. They're meant to be grown in quarts. They're not compact like Cali Petite. It's a different animal. So we select them in the trials that when they produce the best in quarts, but it doesn't mean that they don't get size later. Flockstar Red has been also something that we tested for a very long time. This species of plant is very bad about not rooting for growers. We had about 1,500 varieties. We had to do rooting trials to eliminate the varieties that wouldn't root. So we went from 1,500 to 35 or 40. For the end consumer, these things are wonderful. They a great garden performance, lasts all summer, always look clean. And actually we have some guys in Florida that are using red and white as a Christmas combination. So next, ALONIA bicolor violet. This plant is plenty early enough to be grown in a quart without a pinch. It also, in the garden, it will still get some size. So I think it's very nice. For those that have been in the industry a long time, the first Angelonias, you couldn't even grow them, and now they're beautiful. OSTICADE Lemon. So it has the same habit as all our other OSTICADEs. It's trailing, but it's controlled. So it's not like the old varieties that got real long, stringy, stretched. It will stay together and it will blend with the other OSTICADEs, the purples, the pinks, and the white. Also, the huge advantage is it doesn't need a cooling, so you can hang it right with your other baskets. Last but not least, my favorite, SUNSTRONG Bicolor Purple. SUNSTRONG is an ERYSIMUM that's going to change that category. It doesn't need a cooling, it's heat tolerant, so it'll last all summer. And I don't know what to say, in my trial it was there until it was buried in snow and it was still trying to flower. It is hardy. I have it as a zone 6, but we've had it in Michigan 2 years coming back, which I'd say easily this past 2 years we've been zone 5. So be looking for that.
Thank you all for a wonderful and colorful week here in California. We're already looking forward for next year to bring you new and exciting introductions.